Hey guys, it's Lewis. Welcome back to Stoned Ape Problems. On today's episode, I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on the movie Don't Look Up that recently came out on Netflix with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill, who played a ridiculous character in that movie, like highly unnecessary. But I do understand there was a cynical interpretation of the world if we had that sort of information in play. Obviously, spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, definitely check it out. It's a great movie. um it shows in a very light humor way, and it's a little bit easier to digest of what will really transpire in the world. But what happens is, like, these scientists find a comet that is literally headed towards Earth in a span of 6 months, 14 days, or some shit. It will hit Earth, and it is a catastrophic event. Like, it will literally wipe out it's a planetary devastator. And they try to get the word out to the government, and it just becomes a whole fiasco of, oh, it's not real, we have to go check it out, and we can't really tell people. Because panic will ensue, and then, money comes into play, and it becomes an entire disaster. They first they admit that it's okay, and it's really there, and it's not there, and then they try to make it seem like they're crazy, and you can't be telling people this, you can't be telling people that the world is going to end in 6 months, because obviously panic will ensue. And I understand, like, Leonardo DiCaprio came out the message that, we're so willingly blind to see the truth and things of that nature, and we're willing to really sacrifice everything to remain complacent and remain in our lane, not see the reality of the situation that may be going on around us, just keeping our head down and continue to follow ideologies or whatever our leaders tell us to be, because most people are sheep anyways. It's fucking embedded in their brains. This is an era of mass of the gregarious instinct, and, like, that's literally the world now. The gregarious instinct has taken over the world. The herd, the mass, the sheep, whatever the fuck you want to say. And this book, not book, sorry, I'm used to talking about books. This movie really highlights that, how people are just going to brush it off as something that's not important. As long as their leaders are telling them it's not important, they're going to reciprocate that same feeling and be nonchalant with the blatant evidence that there is something coming to kill us all, and we don't do something about it, we're gonna die. So it's a very interesting topic, because in my opinion, what would we do with that sort of information in real life? Because as I was telling my boy while we were watching that, I'm like, I kind of get why the government wouldn't say something, though. I kind of understand. Because most people can't handle the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had this conversation before. That's how we got inspired to watch the movie. Because he saw the movie before, but we were talking about it. We had a time portal so we could see, like, a way to come, traverse time, back in time to the very beginning, to see what really happened, to see how it really started, to see how the universe and the planets and life itself, conscious life and all this other shit, how did it actually come to be? And he's like, I want to see that shit. I'm like, I don't think you do. I don't think anybody does, because once you go there, there is no coming back. And I told him, like, how many people's beliefs are going to be absolutely shattered? How many people are just going to go, like, brain dead? Because they won't be able to process the information. It'll be slapping right in the fucking face. Right in the face. You have no excuse for God. You have no excuse for anything. There's no weird interpretations. And most religions are interpretations of their surroundings. That's why, for example, German mythology, the vast majority of German mythology is centered around mountains. You know why? Because there's mountains everywhere in fucking Germany. That's what religions are. Or that's how they first came to be, to try to interpret and understand the surroundings, and that they had no comprehension with. They had no idea how it worked. And I was like, telling them, like, bro, most of us ain't ready for that shit. Like 99.9999999% of the population will not be able to live past that moment. And that's when we come here into the movie Don't Look Up. And, you know, and the whole thing is about telling the truth. You have to tell the people the truth. The people deserve to know the truth. The people deserve to know the truth. But do they really, though? Do they? You know, this obviously becomes an ethical discussion. But if we're going to be realistic about the world we fucking live in and stop being so idealistic, you know, some people just live in this idealistic, delusional world that everybody can handle it. Everybody can handle it. No, the vast majority of people won't be able to handle the truth. You know, and one example that really brought it to mind is that I'm reading the history of the Peloponnesian War right now. Which is probably the first real history book, not romanticized, nothing like that. Real hardcore shit. And during this time, during the Peloponnesian War, was basically the allies of Sparta and Athens, and you know, Athens was just getting too much power during that time, especially after the invasion of the Persians. You know, the whole 300 movie and shit like that. When they pushed them out, Athens really started becoming a global, like a real-time maritime superpower. And obviously, people don't like that. So this basically was Sparta against Athens, because they started seeing that Athens just started taking over their own allies, while they were remaining complacent at home, dealing with revolts of the Hellas, were called their, you know, were their slaves and shit like that. And during the very beginning of the Peloponnesian War, a plague broke out in Athens. And obviously that was exasperated, or it might have been because of the mass population influx that came into Athens. Because, you know, Athens is just not a city. It's surrounding towns and things of that nature, with Athens in the very head of it, but there are surrounding towns and stuff like that. They were like, nope, everybody got to come in. Because they knew the Peloponnesians, the Lacedaemonians, which they call the Spartans here, which is very interesting. I've never heard the Spartans be called the Lacedaemonians until I started reading this book. Very interesting. They knew they were going to come in and ravage the countryside. And Pericles, which is called the first man, the first citizen of Athens, the first man of Athens, you know, very profound, very influential individual that unfortunately not many people really seem to know him. He was the one that told them, hey, look, we got to stay in here. Use our maritime power to get the job done. We can't face overwhelming odds on land. So we got to bring everybody into the city. We got to bring on the crops. We got to bring on the people. We got to bring on the food. We got to bring on the livestock. Things of that nature. Things that might be used to the benefit of the enemy. And obviously, in a city, these are not big cities like you think. You know, this is not even the size of Miami. Not even half the size of Miami. You have a random influx of people from the countryside, and you have no idea what they got on. A plague broke out. The origins, they say, they happened around Libya in Egypt and things of that nature, but a plague broke out and people started dying by the wayside. Healthy, sick, old, young, doesn't matter. People were dying. They thought it was going to be the end of the world. Religion was abolished. Moral values abolished. Law, justice abolished. People didn't give a fuck about that shit anymore. Okay, and that's this book is so fucking crazy what you read, and it really shows you the human condition and the human mind and what we are capable when we see no hope. When we see that the end of the world is nigh, baby, like it's there staring at you right in the face. You don't know if you're gonna catch it. You can't even be around your friends and your family because you might catch it. Everybody dying around you. Fuck morals. Fuck values. Fuck all that shit. You're gonna die anyways. You might as well have some fun. And when I mean fun, that could literally... Humans are the most savage animals on this planet. We are the most savage motherfuckers. And when I mean fun, it could turn out to be the most egregious, revolting adaptations of that word. Rape, pillaging, murder, all kinds of devastation, because they didn't care. What's the point of holding on to your money? What's the point of being just? What's the point of being a law-abiding citizen? You might die. Who cares? And that's the point that I try to bring to my boy about this movie. People give a lot of shit, like, oh, there's the government, they'll never tell us the truth. It's like, you can't handle the truth. Like Jack Nicholson said in that fucking movie. I forgot the name of the movie. But you literally can't handle the truth. Most people, like I told them, this movie is softcore. That movie is softcore as fuck compared to what will really go down in this world, in this reality that we fucking live in right now. If everyone in the whole fucking world was randomly told tomorrow, which could literally happen, a comet is on its way over here, we have no way to stop it. It's coming in 6 months. We're going to do our very best to try to avert its course. There will be no civilization for that comet to destroy in 6 months. None. We will go into massive devastation and hysteria. Honestly, the panic that ensued in that movie took way too long. I was like, bro, I told my boy Eric, I was like, bro, from one day to the next, there will be no cities. There will be no lights. There will be no TVs flashing in Times Square and shit. No, baby. The world as we know with that information will end. Because people can't handle the truth. And what happened in afterwards with that is just a small taste. Imagine your whole world with 7 billion people in it. We're told you're gonna die very soon. Religion, moral values, family, friends, all of that shit. Career, money, all going to go out the window. All. People are just going to turn some hedonistic, savage motherfuckers. And you are going to see humans for what we really are. Without the mask of sanity. Without the mask of civilized individuals, civilization itself. You're going to see what humans really are. And that's why I was playing as the devil's advocate in that movie. It's like, the truth is not, like, not everybody can handle it. It's not a human right, to be quite honest with you. I don't think you can say truth is a human right. Because, like, for example, with religious fanatics, for example, you can give them material evidence. You can present them with material fucking evidence. That don't mean shit to them. Doesn't matter. But when you have a comet coming down towards you and you're gonna die, religion's gonna go out the window, baby. All these sedative measures like civilization and moral values and laws and things of that nature are no longer going to be attached to our psyche. So, I had to take the side of obviously the way they presented the government was low-key true. The fucking bureaucracy and the money and corporate America, yeah, they'll probably be like, oh, we could probably get imported minerals and stuff from the meteor before it blows up so we can make some money. Like, what the who cares about money, fool? You're about to die. That is very true. But the core essence of the movie, I have to highly debate with Leonardo DiCaprio and people too many people live in this little delusional world in their heads. Not to be a pessimistic or anything, but people hold too much worth to their neighbors. Or think too high of their neighbors. They think they're more capable than they really are. And I don't think that, I think the complete opposite. Like, every day I walk out this fucking door of my house, or every single time I scroll through Instagram, I am continuously reminded of the ridiculous stupidity of people. It's ridiculous how stupid people are. Ridiculous how ignorant people are. You know, IQ gets lower and lower every year, it seems. More degrees, but people are coming out with worse SAT scores. Explain that to me. They giving degrees to anybody. This civilization, this world that I live in, that we live in, will not be able to deal with that reality. Will not be able to deal with the truth. The truth to me is not something that should just be, here you go to everybody. Like if the United States government, this real government, really had like fucking alien technology hidden somewhere, right? Are we really gonna be able to capably able to really see the evidence? Like, yo, there's fucking aliens and they've been fucking around with our civilization since the very beginning. Where do you think all these guns and this technology came from? From intervention of extraterrestrial beings. Will we really be able to like deal with that information? That we've been lab rats basically this whole fucking time? Can we really deal with that? Can religious people deal with that? Can I even myself deal with that? I don't know. I don't know. And that to me is the highlight of the whole fucking movie. It's not the government's egregious manner as to how they conducted with the information provided to them by these scientists in terms of the comet and its trajectory and the fact that it's going to be a planetary devastation upon the entire world. Like, all life on Earth will be extinct. But it's like, what's the right thing to do? So this really does become a moral issue, an ethical issue, you know, because in my honest opinion, most of the population can't deal with it. They won't be able to deal with it. There will be no civilization to eradicate. We will do it ourselves. The job will be done by ourselves, in my honest opinion. You know, not to be a dick. But I'm not one of those delusional, hopeful fuckers. I've dealt with humans, and I don't like to have this sort of a little. I don't even know how to fucking say it. I don't even know how to say it. Some bullshit facade about how I interpret people or my communication with them and stuff. People are dumb, and people are scared. People are sheep. They go bad, but when the fucking shit goes haywire, there ain't gonna be no bad. There's gonna be a whole lot of stabbing and shooting. And that happens all the time, you know, throughout military history, even with sieges. When sieges were going on, people didn't give a fuck about anybody. Wherever they're like, when there ain't no food on the table, and family members are looking at one another, someone's gonna pull out a knife eventually. And there will be meat on that table tomorrow. Or within a few hours. So, when there is no hope, there is no limit to what we do, or what we are capable of doing, or what we will do. When there is no hope, when there is no light at the end of the tunnel. So, that movie was extremely interesting, and it kind of refurbished something I already fucking knew, and I already thought. But I just really think that most people just have some of the delusional mindset or assertion to how people, what information people should have a right to. So, great movie. Check it out. It was definitely a mindfuck. Made me think about it, and kind of want to get my thoughts on it. It's a pretty good movie. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio, as always, fantastic acting. That guy don't miss. So yeah, check it out. It's on Netflix. And you know, give your thoughts on it. You know, comment on below when you watch it, and let me know how you think of it. You know, but pretty cool to see how other people interpret this movie and interpret the information that is provided to you throughout the course of the movie. So thank you guys again for watching, listening. Don't forget to comment, do all those good things for your boy, subscribe, and if you have any thoughts or any topics you would like me to discuss, feel free to hit me up through Instagram or comments, or a friend of mine text me and let me know. So, till next time, guys. Peace.